wisdom, knowledge, and understanding as we do what is best for the people in this county. I ask your blessings on this country, our state, and our county. In the mighty name of Jesus, I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Attention, salute, pledge. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next on the agenda, the public hearing regarding the FY 26-27 transportation grant.
Good evening, everyone.
Hillary?
This is our, transportation grant application for next year, fiscal year 27. There, the amounts that we are requesting did not change on the administrative portion, so it's the same as it was for this current year. So that was $264,533. The local share portion of that will be $39,681. The capital portion of it, which is to replace two aged out vehicles, the total for that is $221,020. Local share portion would be $22,102. And we are applying for the 5310 grants again this year in the amount of $50,000. Local match on that one is 25. So that gives a total of the grant amount to be 535, 553. Will be 86,783.
Any questions?
That's the same as last year or the previous years, basically.
Same as this past year. And normally it would change a little bit each year, but this year it stayed the same as it did last year.
Offer motion, we close transportation grant.
Second.
Got a motion to close, Commissioner Bullard, second by Commissioner Byrd. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Public hearing is closed. Thank you. Next public hearing, or as soon as can be heard regarding the text amendment for the major subdivision ordinance to increase the minimum lot size of properties with public sewer. Ms. Hammond.
This text amendment is regarding the increase of the minimum lot size for major subdivision ordinance from 15,000 square feet to 21,780 square feet for lots that require public water and public sewer. And I would like to read the text amendment aloud. Whereas the Board of Commissioners wishes to amend the land use regulations ordinance of the county and the code of ordinances to increase the minimum lot size for lots with public water and public sewer required under the major subdivision ordinance. And whereas there is the current requirement of 15,000 square feet for lots with public water and public sewer. And whereas the Board of Commissioners in a separate motion reviewed the comprehensive land use plan and determined that the amendment is consistent with the plan and reasonable. And therefore, Chapter 10, Part 3, Article 4, Section 4B is hereby amended to minimum lot size 15,000 square feet for lots with public water and public sewer to minimum lot size square feet 21,780 for lots with public water and public sewer.
Okay. And I've got a comment. Mr. Stephen.
Yeah, I got a couple questions. On that half acre, is the setbacks on the side of the houses gonna stay, well, it's gonna be more, it's gonna be more than 5 feet, and it's the half acre minimum gonna be measured, for instance, these subdivisions where they talk about putting sidewalks, you know, and everything, it's gonna be measured from the sidewalk where you got a true half acre for the house, or they're gonna count the middle of the street, because if you count the middle of the street, you're losing quite a bit right there.
So the setbacks regarding these lots would stay the same. This is separate from any PUD action, so anything related to this text amendment is strictly for major subdivision ordinance and not related to PUDs. So the setbacks still remain consistent at 50 feet from the front, 25 from the back, and 15 from both sides.
But it's gonna be allowed, when you survey the lot out, it's gonna be surveyed out from the center of the street, that can take up 30 feet. You know, from the center of the street to the sidewalk, is that gonna be part of the half acre, or is it the grassy area, a full half acre?
I don't foresee any changes in the surveying processes. Of course, that would be a question asked of every specific surveyor, but all the processes regarding to surveying properties remain consistent, since this doesn't have any provisions to change that, simply the square footage requirements.
But the question I think he's trying to ask, is it gonna be, is the right of ways gonna be excluded? Or is the right of ways gonna be allowed to be included? And I think the board's intentions was to have the right of ways not included in the square acreage. The right of way belongs to the state or to the development or whatever, but I think that's the point you're asking. And I feel like it was the board's intent that the right of ways and easements are not included in the lot size. I think that's our intent. And normally it is, and because when you survey property out, a lot of times, if it was way back the day before the road was widened or whatever, a lot of times the deed calls for the center of the highway or whatever. But if you're laying it off from the start, it should start at the right-of-way line, property lines, easements, or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
Because we're talking about flood on a lot of these lots as far as new developments, correct? Yeah, so if you include in that, it's already paved with sidewalks. You got, you know, where water can drain. Also, the question on developments like this, multiple developments,
Makes it a lot smaller.
is the lot that they're gonna cut out cookie cutter lots? Or are you gonna allow a mother-in-law suite somewhere down the road that's gonna block absorption area or swimming pool? Or is these lots gonna be stated where if you ever want to put a swimming pool in later, the lot sizes might have to be a little bit bigger?
That would be something that we would address on a case-by-case basis, since this text amendment is strictly for the lot size only. But any other questions that you may have, please direct them to our department and we can help you with that moving forward.
But while we're discussing it, I think we need to get it clear. And, the board is here to give the consensus. And we need the language clear, that it's stating that it's going to be an exclusive square footage, not including any easements, any right of ways. It's going to be owned by anyone else other than that particular owner. Am I explaining it like?
Yes, yes.
That's what I thought was picking up he was saying.
Mhm.
Because if you're going to have half of a 30-foot or 60-foot highway included in the square footage, you've utilized a whole lot of what we were trying to prevent within that 21,000 feet.
I don't have any provision for any right-of-way verbiage regarding this text amendment. If that's something that would need to be included, this one would need to be amended from what it has. But as of currently, this one is strictly for the lot size increase. And any type of right-of-way inclusion or exclusion would need to be something included or excluded from this if the pleasure of the board is to have that verbiage included in the text amendment.
Well, that was definitely, I think, the board's intent.
And I do think the board is interested in the roads not being included in the lot size.
Or
Or
walkways,
walkways. That would take
anything
care
that
of
particular lot owner don't own 100% doesn't need to be included in their 21,000 feet.
Mr. Chairman, can I point out one thing?
Yes, sir.
This is the first step in the process for adoption of an amendment to the minimum lot size, correct?
Yes,
Subdivision regulations.
yes.
It is on your agenda for you to approve this evening. If you would like to make further changes, we can do one of two things. We can take this back to the drawing board, revise the language, re-advertise the public hearing, and bring it to you at a later time. But understand that if you do that, any applications that are filed before the board makes the amendment, you have to recognize the minimum lot size at the time of application,
Correct.
right? So it would be my recommendation, and I don't want to usurp anything that the planning director has mentioned, but that you proceed with adopting this minimum lot change, increasing the density or the size of the minimum lot. And then if you would like to revise the language at a future date to your satisfaction, then that would place further restrictions on this ordinance. But in my opinion, it's advisable for you to adopt it in the form that it is tonight, and then we will tweak the language for another amendment later.
And we can't approve it with that included to be.
I would feel more comfortable if we had exact language in a form that's adoptable this evening.
We wouldn't be advised to table the situation till clarity. needed.
Again, you can, but if someone walks in the door tomorrow and files a subdivision application, they're going to fall under the 15,000 square foot minimum lot size.
Let's approve that and then come back
That's the
at the
point.
next meeting
Yes, sir.
and start, because that's the whole purpose.
Correct.
There's no need of saying you're going 21,000 feet and you're going to let 10,000 of it be in a playground over here or 10,000 in a parking lot. We want it to be clear cut,
Duly noted.
right?
Any more discussion?
I move the public hearing be closed.
Got a motion by Commissioner Byrd to close. Second by Commissioner Floyd. All in favor? All opposed? Okay. Motion carried, closed. Get a third public hearing. Public hearing 6:30 PM or as soon as can be heard regarding the amended code enforcement ordinance and pending a 30-day enforcement timeline. Ms. Hammond.
For this text amendment, this would amend the buildings, addressing, and abandoned structures ordinance, and this pertains to code enforcement within the county. I would like to read this text amendment aloud as well. Whereas the Board of Commissioners wishes to amend the buildings, addressing, and abandoned structures ordinance of the county and the code of ordinances to change the 60-day requirement of compliance for properties to 30 days upon determining that a violation of the ordinance exists. And whereas the Board of Commissioners wishes to establish a different requirement for number of days for compliance of violating properties, and whereas the Board of Commissioners in a separate motion reviewed the comprehensive land use plan and determined that the amendment is consistent with the plan and reasonable, and therefore, Chapter 5, Part 4, Abandoned Structures, Article 4, Section 3, Item C3, and Item G is hereby amended from advise that the property must comply within 60 days to advise that the property must comply within 30 days, and from if the property is not removed, abated, or remedied within 60 days of the initial notice and an appeal has not been filed, the planning director shall issue a second notice. 2, if the property is not removed, abated, or remedied within 30 days of the initial notice and an appeal has not been filed, the planning director shall issue a second notice. And this was given approval to recommend by the planning board, as was the previous text amendment.
Have any discussion? Your motion?
Motion.
Before I get there, I had discussed it earlier, and with so much fines per day,
Mhm.
and I asked the question, one-on-one with you, at what point are we going to quit assessing a fee and take action?
There's a first notice that's issued to a violating property. And if this text amendment is approved, then that would be 30 days for abatement. That'll be 30 days for correction. Then that will be followed up by a second notice if there is no abatement, no progress made on the property. After that period of time, the planning board can be prompted to take some sort of corrective action. And then the Board of Commissioners can also become involved in how to move forward with these properties that do not comply within the time frame that they're given. That can be in the form of a lien on a property that's collected as unpaid taxes. That can also be a strict issue of abatement, an order of abatement. You also have the avenue of an injunctive order as well. But all of these are just very, very end of the road type remediations. We want to give every citizen the time frame to have these abatements taken care of. And these can be addressed on a case-by-case basis if there is an issue of financial hardship, if there is an issue of timing that is not appropriate for someone to get their property in line within the given amount of time that's stated in the ordinance. We'll look at those on a case-by-case basis, but we still will hold true to the rules and what you all have established as a board to what the final action of abatement would be for violating properties.
So they have the right to appeal. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am, they do have the right to appeal.
Move the public hearing be closed, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Bullard, close. Second.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Byrd. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Public hearing is closed. Thank you, Ms. Hammond. Number 5, hear a motion to approve the agenda, tax refunds, and releases.
So moved, Mr. Chairman, with one addition. I would like to add the appointment to the jury commission, which the county commissioners does to the agenda.
Okay.
I'll second.
Got a motion to accept with the amendment by Commissioner Byrd, seconded by Commissioner Watts. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
And we'll put it down at where you want to put it. What number? Doesn't matter to me.
But just go under your board appointments under 26.
Okay.
Sir?
It'd be
26A.
26A. Okay. Sounds good. 26A.
Go to number 7. We've got a proclamation here to recognize and support for the Columbus County Dixie,
Number 6.
Number 6.
Mr. Chairman.
number 6. I had it marked off again. I apologize. I'm doing good today. Number 6, I have a motion to approve August 18th, 2025 regular sessions, and B, August 25, 2025 special call meeting.
So moved.
A motion by Commissioner Watts, seconded by Commissioner Floyd. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Now, number 7. Got a proclamation recognizing and supporting the Columbus County Dixie Junior Baseball League 13 and under team for participating and success in the 2025 World Series. I don't believe anybody's here, and they requested that we mail them or send them the proclamation.
Yes, sir.
A second.
Got a motion by Commissioner Watts, seconded by Commissioner Byrd. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Number 8, proclamation to adoption of the proclamation to recognition of East Columbus Future Farmers of America, FFA Parliamentary Procedure State Team Champions.
I move it be approved.
Got a motion by Commissioner Byrd, second
Second.
by Commissioner Bullard. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Do we have the team here? Y'all sit right here and then we'll give it out and shake your hands and then feel free to speak if you will. Okay. Whereas Columbus County Board of Commissioners are taking great pride in recognizing the outstanding achievement of our young leaders. And whereas East Columbus High School FFA Voluntary Procedure Team has earned the distinguished honor of being named North Carolina State Champion. A testament of their knowledge, preparation, teamwork, and dedication to excellence. And whereas this accomplishment reflects not only the skills and determination of team members, but also steadfast support of their advisors, family, and school community. And whereas the Board of Commissioners recognize the importance of youth organizations such as FFA, which develops future leaders who will continue to strengthen our communities, agriculture, and industry. Now therefore it is resolved that the Columbus County Board of Commissioners do hereby commend and congratulate East Columbus High School FFA Parliamentary Procedure Team for their outstanding achievement at North Carolina State Champion, and express deepest appreciation for the honor they have brought to our county. Adopted this 15th day of September, 2025. Thank you very much. And if y'all would like to sit back and say anything, please tell us about your experience.
We want to thank y'all for this award. Parley Pro, which is the competition we compete in, is one of the hardest ones, I believe. It has been super hard. We worked super hard competing to get to state and to win state and to now go to Indianapolis, Indiana for the national convention in the last week of October. And we hope as we are there to win national level competing against all the other states. So we just want to thank you so much and support us along the way as we go to Indiana.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
I'd like to say that you make Columbus County proud. All right.
Chairman, I do want to say you better run this meeting right because I know how to call you out.
And
I know exactly the rules.
y'all need to know one thing. The county commissioner is exempt from a lot of parliamentary procedures, okay?
We might need them to come teach us a lesson.
Might need them to teach us something. That would be good. But thank y'all so much. We're so proud of you. Okay, number 9, proclamation, adoption of Suicide Prevention Month proclamation. Columbus County Chamber of Commerce Director John McPherson is requesting the adoption of the Suicide Prevention Month proclamation.
Move to approve, Mr. Chairman.
Got a motion by
Second.
Commissioner Bullard, second by Commissioner Watts. All in favor? All opposed? Ms. McPherson, are you here? Suicide Prevention Award, September 2025, Columbus County Board of Commissioners. Whereas suicide is the leading cause of death nationally, claiming the lives of more than 50,000 Americans each year, including many in North Carolina, here in Columbus County. Whereas every life lost to suicide is a tragedy that leaves family, friends, schools, workplaces, and fairly community grieving and searching for answers. Whereas raising awareness of suicide prevention reduces stigma and increases access to medical health resolutions, resources, provide steps for saving lives and supporting those affected by suicide. Whereas 988 suicide life crisis lifelines have been provided 24/7 free confidential support to people in distress, prevention, and crisis resolve for loved ones, and best practice for professionals across the United States. And whereas we all have a role to play in showing care, compassion, and understanding in supporting those who make these struggles. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Columbus County Board of Commissioners be hereby proclaim September 2025 Suicide Prevention Awareness Month in Columbus County. And encourage all citizens to join in their efforts in one field, share resources, and work together to save lives. Adopted this 15th day of September 2025, Columbus County Board of Commissioners.
Chairman Coleman, fellow commissioners, and County Manager Eddie Madden, I would like to thank you for this resolution. the Chamber and Tourism Board had the opportunity, February will be 3 years ago, that we were directly affected in planning an event by a suicide. So it has become our mission now to actively promote that 988 number for people to call. And I got a call from the Veterans Memorial Park of America because they, I think they are lit up now in the teal and purple, recognizing that 22 veterans are lost every day to suicide. So thank you for your commitment to the mental health of Columbus County as a whole. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Ms. McPherson.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to say this as well to piggyback off of what Jones said. I personally know somebody in my life who has used that 988 number within the last couple weeks, and they said that the person literally saved their life, and that they were so nice and easy to talk to, and so and they were not judgmental. And so like I said, it's that 988 number is a good number to call, and you won't be judged. So
Well, thank you. And we encourage each and every person. It's not an embarrassment to do this. It's a helpline. Use it as a lifeline to help yourself or your neighbors and family. Thank you. Thank you. Number 10 on the list, proclamation, adoption of the proclamation of October as the nationally recognized Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Families First member Representative Lucy Byrd is requesting adoption of November Domestic Violence Awareness Month proclamation. A motion by Commissioner Featherston.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Floyd. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Anybody here? We'll send it to them.
yes, I'll take it to him.
Okay, number 11 on the list, employee spotlight. County Manager Eddie Madden will recognize Kim Holmes from the library as employee spotlight.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It is my pleasure to recognize Ms. Kim Holmes as tonight's employee spotlight person. Ms. Holmes is with the Columbus County Public Library System, and she was named Employee of the Year in 2024. For the past 28 years, Ms. Holmes has been a dedicated employee to the library system. She has worked as the bookmobile manager and currently the Ruby McRae Memorial Library branch manager. Since 2001, Ms. Holmes has shown consistent professionalism, creativity, and hard work as a Ruby McRae Memorial Library branch manager. After hours, she's been a liaison for the county library system at their board meetings, book signings, and multiple library community events. The words no or can't is not in her vocabulary. Instead, will do and what time do I need to be there certainly is. The many creative children's story times, like reading The Gingerbread Girl Goes Animal Crackers for National Cookie Day, is common for her. Afterwards, she would provide gingerbread cookies and water to the kids to complete the theme. Ms. Holmes, along with the library board, had an instruction class to teach the usage of the Libby app on audiobook online. And these are just a few examples of the many ways that Ms. Holmes demonstrates her heart to those that she serves. It is for these reasons that we recognize her tonight as the employee spotlight person. Ms. Holmes?
Let me just say thank you for this recognition, and thank y'all for seeing and checking on the employees and keeping us in mind every month. Thank you so much.
Thank you for employees like you. Appreciate it. Number 12 on the list, public input. First one, Johnny Edge. Step up. We'll give you name, address.
And you will have 3 minutes, Mr. Edge.
There might be somebody out there. Madam Attorney.
Johnny Edge, 470 Happy Home Road. In all seriousness, I'd like to read a scripture due to what happened this past Wednesday. Mr. Charlie Cook. Corinthians 16, 13 and 14. Be watchful, stand firm in the faith, not what you think the faith is, in the faith that Jesus Christ would have it. Act like men, be strong. Let all that you do be done in love. Love is a manifested concept encompassing strong emotional attachment, profound affection, and caring for other people. What has been mentioned tonight, population for the last 30 years, 2000 was 54,749. 2010, 58,088. 2020, 50,623. The numbers, you need to figure that out yourself. The upcoming development, who knows what they are? There's numbers all over the map, but it is significant. It shouldn't be decided what Columbus County is going to be by the newcomers. It should be the people that have been here for generations to decide that. This brings us to how the decisions are going to be made. You commissioners, your decisions are going to be based on information collected from the planning board and other sources, such as COG.
1 minute warning, Mr. Edge.
All sources of information should be accurate and so that the decisions are the best decision that can be made for Columbus County. I have checked with my commissioner. We're getting together with the people in District 7 to discuss their concerns. I have asked other commissioners to come up with ideas as far as how the communications can be better with the people that y'all serve. Right now, we're canvassing the people all the way across the county to see what their concerns are and want to share that in a formal presentation to you commissioners to know what the people are out there, their concerns are. Lack of information and communication can be very detrimental, and usually it is. Do not be quick in making your decisions. Thank you for your time.
Mr. Johnny, I'd like to just emphasize that the county board disagreed with the 2020 census because of COVID. We thought at the time, we went on record that we didn't feel like the people were counted accurately because of the COVID spread and people not wanting to go in different houses and different areas. So I don't feel like there are 50,000 people here. I feel like there's much more, even though we lost a lot of citizens with COVID. But I just wanted to point out that the board went on record not agreeing with the 2020 census.
But the main point is what is getting ready to happen.
Oh, yes, I understand. I understand.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Edge. Okay, I think it's Todd Dioxon, O-F-X-O-N.
Dixon.
Dixon. Dixon, I'm sorry, I apologize. Apologize, Mr. Dixon, I butcher your name every now and then.
My handwriting is terrible, so I totally understand. I want to thank y'all for the time. I want to give a short, brief history. I came in once before. It was about the noise ordinance. And I told you about the situation with my neighbor. And ironically, the night I came was when you guys were about to vote on it. And you got the noise ordinance in place. And since then, I've been having problems with this same neighbor.
Deputy came out one night and explained to him he couldn't have the music going, so he had his warning. So then what he starts to do now, he turns the music up really, really loud. He starts about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. Turns it up really loud, and when he sees a deputy coming, he turns it down. One night, a deputy sat out in front of my house from about 2 o'clock in the morning till about 5 or 6, just so I can get some sleep. I'm a law enforcement officer. My wife's a teacher. My son's a nurse. So he comes home, he can't get any sleep because this guy's playing music. Then when we get up to go to work, he sleep. He doesn't play any music in the daytime. So with the decibel situation, it makes it kind of complicated for the deputies to do what they're trying to do. And what I'm trying to see if it can happen, if we can have some type of first responders rule put in there, because to me, it's really like he's kind of putting people in danger. If I'm a law enforcement officer, so if I'm not on top of my game with well rested, you're putting people in danger. So I think it's kind of a public safety issue that he's creating. And I think that public safety people should be protected some kind of way to get a good night's sleep, because that's all I'm asking for. And I'm kind of embarrassed even not to come to ask for this, because the gentleman I'm dealing with, he's not a 19-year-old, 20-year-old. This gentleman's 50 years old. He got grown children himself. And this is what I'm dealing with. My wife's a teacher. I'm a cop. My son's a nurse. My nephew's a special ed. He's in special ed. And we can't get a good night's sleep because this guy is up, and he does it sporadically. So he might do it Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday night. Then you get a good night's sleep. Then he might not do it for a week. Then he might do it 4 nights in a row. So I was wondering if there was some way that because with the decibel thing, he's sitting on his porch, he's watching. He's got his phone in his hand. He knows how to turn it down before the deputy get there and can actually hear it. So I'm just trying to see if there's anything that we can do that can make it more concrete where we can get some rest. And because, like I said, I work in a school, so I'm protecting a lot of lives. And I don't want to be kind of sleepy protecting someone's children, because I know I don't want my child to be injured because the deputy was too tired to do the job he was hired to do because of some neighbor who's just partying and having a good time. So if there's anything that can be done, I trust me and my family, we will be so grateful if there's anything you guys can do about it.
Ask Jerome, can he address it?
We addressed this before, where we'll have the sheriff to find that individual. Isn't there a ordinance already in place for that?
We got a noise ordinance, and Sheriff
Jerome,
could you address that, or?
I have that same issue.
I'm Barrett Thompson. I'm Major at the Sheriff's Office. The way the noise ordinance is written, it has to be a certain decimal reading, noise reading, before they can be in violation of our ordinance. The Sheriff's Office, we purchased 10 decibel meters, but I think, listen to Ted, what he's trying to explain is when they come out to measure it, the guy sees them, so he turns it down. So it's got to be so many decibels for so long before we can charge them with violating our noise ordinance. So I think Ted's trying to seek a way to maybe get around the decimal reading. Maybe certain hours of the night we could look at it that you can't play loud music, but the commissioners put an ordinance in place. We have the decimal meters to read it, but it sounds like to me this gentleman that lives beside is playing the system. When he sees the deputy pull up, he knows to turn his radio down.
what
Now,
can
do
we
you-
do?
Being the deputy, let him take one of those decimal readers home.
Yeah, that could be fine. Ted being a deputy, by statute, he could be a deputy 24 hours a day. He could do that reading and then be a witness and charge him with the violation.
What area do you live in,
Great
sir?
plan to me.
What area do you live in?
They live in the Mount Olive area.
I say let Ted carry the thing home and go over and charge his neighbor.
Well-
Video system that she has reported, because I have that same issue. It's reported, so can you use that?
It has, you have to actually measure it in real time. So there could be a question where if it was recorded, if you could have modified the recording or something, I wouldn't say it needs to be measured in real time. And it's got to be so many decibels for so long. If you refer back to your ordinance, you'll see. And maybe something like Scott said, Ted could take home, but maybe something to look at certain hours of the day, no loud music. 2:30 in the morning, everybody needs to be asleep.
Well, like the major said, anybody that's aggravating people,
Yeah.
they're not going to play the music when the deputies pulls up. Just let him decide how loud it is. Nobody's going to do that.
Maybe we can look at,
We may could amend our noise order to like add the hours, certain hours at night.
maybe we can amend the ordinance where we could include certain hours after 1:30 or 2 o'clock. No loud music or
I think the best way to get this
Do it
person
earlier
is
than that.
Oh, yeah.
take one home.
Yeah, the best way to get this person is.
He just be a witness.
But I would let him,
I have to look at it.
but I would let him call a deputy to serve him instead of his neighbor serving him.
If he's got the machine, him be the witness.
It's not just at your place, Mr. Dixon. I have that same issue out on Red Store and Old Lumberton Road. And we called, Jerome many a times, and they'll come out and set up a command station for a while. But once they leave, the noise starts again.
Yeah, because one of the deputies sat outside my house all night, and I was so grateful because we were so tired. I just need a good night's sleep so I can go and protect my kids. It's a shame to be this old to have to beg for a good night's sleep. You know, you understand what I'm saying. You know exactly what I'm saying.
It seems like these people know the ordinance now, so they're playing the system.
well, maybe we can,
would just be an
maybe we'll look at it and see if we can amend the ordinance and tweak it up a little bit where it'll serve you better.
Bring us some suggestions. Give us some things to look at.
That we can work with and give us a starting point, and we'll work with you any way we can.
Go from
Thank you
12
very
to
much.
6.
Thank you for your time. I
In
appreciate
the
it.
middle of the week, you can make
Hope
it
things get
less.
better for you.
On the weekend, Friday or Saturday night, maybe a little different.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Don't work, ain't got nothing else to do.
All right. Transportation. Approval of FY 275311 administrative and capital grant and the FY 275310 grant application. Transportation Director Joey Jacobs requesting approval of Transportation's FY 26275311 admin capital and 5310 grant application. This agenda item associated with the previously held public hearing.
Move it be, Ms. Featherston moves it be approved.
Commissioner Featherston had, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Commissioner Byrd.
Yep.
All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. 14, Planning Department. Approval of text amendment to the major subdivision ordinance.
I move it be approved.
Got a motion by Commissioner Byrd to approve,
Second, Mr. Chairman.
second by Commissioner Bullard. All in favor?
And I'd like to ask that some revised wording come back at next meeting, Mr. Madden.
Yes, sir, we'll work on it. We'll verify that it's not already addressed, but if not, we'll bring something to you.
Okay.
Help, motion. Anybody object? Okay, motion carries. 15, Planning Department. Approval of the amended code enforcement ordinance. Planning Director Kelsey Hammond is requested approval of the amended code enforcement ordinance. This
Move to approve, Mr. Chairman.
motion by Commissioner Bullard. Second by Commissioner Smith. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Number 16, Planning Department. Approval to establish a workshop for the Coleman Track. Planning Director is requesting approval to establish a workshop for the Coleman Track on Monday, October the 6th, 2025 at 4 p.m. Ms. Hammond?
So this workshop is in an effort of transparency and to keep the developers as accountable to you all as commissioners and also to the public as well in regard to what they bring to the table when a PUD is present. So this first Coleman tract that you previously visited at a prior meeting, this would be a workshop that would be the hour before the standard meeting, your regular meeting. This would be a no public comment period. The public comment would come in the regular meeting, but this would just be a one-on-one time with the developer and all of the commissioners to ask all of the questions that you feel are pertinent to the PUD process and to what's introduced to you by these specific developers. You can ask whatever questions you feel like are necessary to get the correct information that you're looking for. That could be anything related to lot size, density. That could be provisions for sidewalks, setbacks, anything that you can think of related to what is involved in each PUD that comes forward. These types of workshops are intended to be in an effort of transparency to keep you all as informed as possible in what the developers are bringing forward to the county.
Now, after having this one, are we going to start meeting with every development and everyone like that? Because I don't think we've ever done this before.
This is a new concept, and the intent would be for each new PUD application that comes in, that you all have this one-on-one time to where you can ask all questions that are appropriate regarding the PUD.
Mr. Chairman,
Educated on what's going on.
Mr. Chairman, I would
For
also add,
education on what's going on.
Absolutely. This is going to keep you in line with everything that the developer is intending to do. So there will be no gray area whatsoever in what they're bringing to the table. So you can better make decisions regarding the county and for your constituency.
Mr. Chairman, what we're proposing is a workshop format where the workshop would be held at your first monthly meeting of the month. No action expected by the board on that item at all. And that after you're satisfied with the presentation made by the developer, you can decide whether to calendar that action item at a subsequent meeting, most likely the one to follow. But more importantly, is to prevent you all feeling pressured into making decisions, especially large decisions such as the PUDs that have been presented in the past, on the same night that the public hearing is held. So it builds in a buffer, some time for you to be able to ask questions of the developer, and then, a couple of weeks to ask your constituents in the community their thoughts and concerns, and then, of course, move forward in a later meeting with any
There's a
action
chance to
item.
get educated and seeing what's going on and what's happening.
Move it be approved.
Okay, got a motion by Commissioner Featherston. Your second.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Second by Commissioner Bullard. All in favor? All opposed? Passed. Thank you, Ms. Hammond. 17, cooperative extension approval to participate in the 4-year computer master lease agreement between North Carolina State Extension and Apple Incorporated. Cooperative Extension Director Harold Wallace is requesting approval of participation in the 4-year computer master lease agreement between North Carolina State Extension and Apple Incorporation. Mr. Wallace.
Yes, sir. We've been doing this for close to 20 years now. We've been a part of this program. However, to fall in line with our new county financial policies, I need to bring this before you guys to get your approval. I will say that this was budgeted out in our county budget and approved, so we already have the money there.
Make a motion, we approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Watts, seconded by Commissioner Bullard. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
If you don't mind it, what is the cost?
So the cost for this year is $4,140.25. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Number 18, emergency services. Approval to transfer fleet vehicle to the sheriff's office. Deputy Emergency Director Teresa Smith is requesting approval to transfer fleet vehicles to the sheriff's office. Ms. Smith.
Good evening, gentlemen. So I've been working with Mr. Madden as we've been moving vehicles around the sheriff's office, requested some non-pursuit vehicles for them. And we have identified 5 vehicles that have been transferred to the sheriff's office. We're just asking for your approval for that.
Move it be approved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Byrd, seconded by Commissioner Smith. All in favor? All opposed? Motion passed.
Thank you.
Thank you. Number 19, facility service, approval of change order number 1 for the sheriff's office project. Facility Service Director Stuart Carroll is requesting approval for change order number 1 in the amount of $123,060 to excavate bad soil, import new soil, and proof road at the new sheriff's project site. Funds available at project budget.
Move to approve, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Bullard to approve, second by Commissioner Featherston. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. 20, Health Department. Approval of self-pay bad debt write-off and Medicare private insurance write-off. Healthcare Director Daniel Buck is requesting approval of the self-pay bad debt write-off and Medicare private insurance write-off. Mr. Buck.
Yeah, so this is just our annual approval we need from you to write off any of our bad debt. As you see on the form I included, we do have some recoupment that we had this year. What we have for bad debt write-off typically includes if we don't have a social security number for someone, if it's a charge they've had for less than $50. There's a few criteria that we have. And then ultimately that amount gets written off.
Why is it so much more this year than it has been the previous years?
Glad you asked that. If you look on your bad debt write-off Medicaid private insurance block, you'll see that number is higher than the 2 years before. Through that time, we lost multiple providers and had new providers come on, and our medical director changed. So it took a number of months, if not half a year, to have all of their credentialing redone through Medicaid, Medicare, private insurance. So we lost quite a bit of money there. I don't foresee that being a problem now, but medical director change and some of our practitioners changed.
But it looked like from 23, it went from $31,208.30 to $54,160. That's a substantial increase.
Substantial losses from, like I said, from Medicaid and from private insurance credentialing. And if they don't approve the practitioner offering the services, then we take the hit if they won't reimburse us.
It was that high for 22 too?
Yeah, it was 22, 31,000.
Any recourse we got that we can?
Yeah, 12,000 and 22.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
20,000
we
miles,
typically
20,000.
resubmit those. We resubmit those to insurance multiple times and to Medicaid. And some of this is offset by our cost settlement at the end of the year. But ultimately, like I said, if we don't have a social security number or a charge is less than $50, then we can't send that to recoupment and recoup that.
Well, we were writing off more than $150,000. Am I correct? 68,470.
No, sir, 6,800.
$6,847.13. You're right.
Yes, sir.
Well, when the bad debt write off with Medicaid and private insurance, when you can't collect there, you can't go after it personally.
Like I said, it's that criteria. If you have a social security number, you have, if it's above a certain amount that we're charging for a service, then we can.
So
But the problem is a lot of these were things that they came in for that were less than that amount. So then we can't try to recoup that money.
Can't recoup a lump sum. You have to do it individually.
Not necessarily. It's just that individual, whatever service they were provided was less than $50. So therefore that bumps them out of being able to send that to
So
collections.
you're saying most of this bad debt that adds up to 54,000 is less than $50?
Definitely for the 6,847, that was for this past year. That $54,000, that Medicaid and private insurance, that goes back 2 years. That goes back before last fiscal year, because you have to look at cost settlement between then and now.
So
They're
you can't-
always running a year behind.
So you can't do that personally either.
No, sir.
So that's a substantial increase from 31,000 to
Makes sense.
54,000 in 1 year.
And that's kind of the point I'm making. When we switch medical directors, that individual is not credentialed yet with Medicaid and with some of the insurances that we were charging. So until that happened, until we got them credentialed and able to to charge those insurances, we lost quite a bit there.
Well, we need to make sure we have that before we let the one that's working go.
Correct. That was kind of a difficult situation. There was a personnel matter.
More discussion?
So is this figure for all your departments, or is it?
All services that we've offered. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So you're expecting not to have much bad debt write-off this coming year?
Hoping not to, not close to that amount. Not anywhere close to that.
Any more discussion? I hear a motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Floyd, second by Commissioner Smith. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
I
Floyd.
have a question for the attorney. Madam Attorney, there's no way to collect this money? Like you do that for me.
What was the question?
Is there no way that that money can be collected?
Okay, and the answer was?
She's gonna do some research on it and let me know.
Solid waste approval to close the Evergreen Convenience Site. Public Utilities Solid Waste Director Harold Nobles requesting approval to close the Evergreen Convenience Site. Mr. Nobles.
Yeah, this site, we closed it once before and then on request reopened it, and the numbers on the tonnage is really low. Most people that's using it's going to the Sarah Gorder site. And now we're just going to request to close it, use the stuff we had there at other places.
Are we going to use the equipment at that site at other sites, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Very little use.
Yes. This month's tonnage is not on here, was zero. We pulled nothing from that side.
Nothing. And it was open for, what, 6 days?
It's open once a week.
Open once a week, did you say?
Yeah, we done a trial back, maybe 8 months ago because of the time. And then we're taking workers from Sarah Gorder and flopping them back and forth from Evergreen to Sarah Gorder site, and done once a week. And see if, any complaints, anybody else, anything, and it's been quiet, so want to close it.
And the distance from Evergreen to Sarah Gorder is not that far, is it?
It's about 11 or 12 miles from one side to the other.
Any more discussion? Your motion?
I move to be approved.
Second,
Motion by
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Featherston, second by
Second.
Commissioner Bullard. All in favor? All opposed? Motion passed. Thank you, Harold. 22, DSS, update and discussion of Medicare and SNAP benefit changes. DSS Director Dwella Hall will present an updated regarding upcoming changes, Medicare and SNAP benefits. Ms. Hall.
Good evening. So before you, I have given you my packet earlier, and I kind of explained in there, gave you some updates on what I've been receiving from the state and from our Directors Association in reference to the Medicaid program and the SNAP benefit. But what I want to talk to you about tonight is what the impact will look like for Columbus County. So if you don't mind, I would like to pass.
Yes, ma'am, please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
So from the information that I provided in my board report, what I want to sum up for you tonight is basically what this looks like for Columbus County. I'm sure that's what you're interested in wanting to know. So for food nutrition, as of today, there is no final decision as to what an increase will look like for our county. In my discussion with the Directors Association and in consultation with our local business liaison for the state, there does not seem to be anything at this point that puts any expenses with our county. However, in food and nutrition, the state has an error rate of 10.21% error rate. What Columbus County looks like for our error rate, we are at 5%. And what this means is if we continue to keep our error rate below 6%, our county should be fine. So that's where the money would look like, is from error rates. And right now we look good. That's why I'm pleased to say that in food and nutrition. Do you have any questions so far? Okay, flip over. Same thing for Medicaid. As of today, there are no final decisions as to what an increase will look like for the county. However, in Medicaid, this error state rate is 90%. What Columbus County error rate looks like right now is currently at 97%. What this means is if we continue to keep our error rate above 90%, our county should be fine. Please note, food, nutrition, and Medicaid error rates operate differently. However, I am pleased to say that we are in good standing in both of those programs. Any questions so far on that? Okay, flip over. In conclusion, while the federal and state government have not yet issued a final decision, counties are encouraged to be proactive in projecting their own cost base on what is currently budgeted for Food Nutrition Administration, food nutrition caseload, and Medicaid data for Medicaid expansion and the rest of the caseload. They examine the impact of the increased recertifications for Medicaid expansion and the associated work requirements. Okay. Any questions? That is my conclusion.
Looks like you're doing a fine job.
Thank you.
Anybody, any questions? Thank you, Ms. Hall.
I'm going to do my next report.
Yes, ma'am. I think you're next on the
Yes, sir.
list too for,
Yes, sir.
for that, so that'll be good.
So my monthly administrative report, I wanted to bring to your attention about our community service. We still have the Salvation Army of Wilmington continues to collaborate with our agency to assist the community with rental and utility assistance. They are here at our agency every Monday and Tuesday, and individuals may call ahead to schedule appointments. On August the 8th, I participated in the health department to the back to school drive. We represented DSS and gave out information on various programs that our agency offers. Children receive school supplies while parents and caregivers receive valuable information from all local agencies. Overall, the event was successful and I was glad to be a part of it. Our energy program update. On August the 14th, our county received a second allocation of $176,115.06 in SIP funds to assist citizens of the county that are experiencing an energy crisis. Our staff is available daily to take applications. I would like to give a shout out to my child support agent establishment, Janelle Graham. She was recognized as one of the top 20 outstanding collections for July of 2025. She collected $10,047.80 in arrears with full in payment. Our August collections for child support is $393,259. Program integrity, $9,225.63. And that is my report. Questions?
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
Good
Got a
job.
Question? Keep up the good work. We appreciate what you do. Thank you. Number 24, approval of first reading, the amended travel policy. Finance Director Heather Woody is requesting approval of the first reading of the amended travel policy to implement the minimum required miles at 50, a maximum cap of $250 for room and board and room sharing. Ms. Woody is presently gone. Mr. Madden, would you
Well,
explain?
she was unable to be here this evening, and she asked me to make a couple of comments. Our current travel distance minimum for hotel stays for overnight accommodations is 75 miles. This has presented a bit of a challenge for our employees. A number of the meetings and conferences that are held are within a 50-mile radius. And for those attending conferences that are multiple days, it is creating a complication for those employees to go back and forth each day. So we are recommending that we revert back to the 50-mile requirement rather than 75. However, we're asking for the board to consider implementing a cap of the nightly rate of $250 a night. Now, since COVID, hotel rooms have gone up. The cost of hotel rooms have gone up considerably. There was a time whenever we could reserve rooms at the state government negotiated rate. Hotels rarely offer that any longer. We're seeing conferences now charging registrants anywhere from $350 to $500 a night if you stay at the conference hotel. We're requesting the board consider putting a cap on hotel room rates at $250 a night, but require employees, if they're of same gender, to book a room in a double occupancy room. This will afford the employees to attend and stay at conferences within a 50-mile radius or outside of a 50-mile radius, but put a cap on it to keep the budget number under control.
Now, that's if they stay more than one day.
Yes, sir.
They can't just stay in the motel that night. They will come home.
That's correct.
You said
Yes, sir.
2 days or more. All right.
Any question?
Now, the cap for the $250, and if it's a double room, is that for each employee?
No, sir.
I
Per
thought
room.
you said that the rooms sometime were $300 to
But
$400.
we're seeing that, but we're recommending to our employees, as we have done just recently, that they find a hotel that maybe not be the conference hotel, but a hotel nearby at lower rates.
Instead of going
And
to
so-
the Hilton, you might go to Family Inn.
Well, I understand that,
Holiday-
but sometimes
holiday
that's a
motel.
lot more inconvenient in, the weather, stuff like that. But anyhow, we'll work with each issue.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other questions?
This pertains to the board as well, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, I believe that would be the case. And the manager.
If you all know or not. Okay.
Yeah, we try to do early registrations where we get those conference reductions. Yes, ma'am.
Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
A motion by Commissioner Smith. Here's second.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Floyd. All in favor? All opposed? Motion passed. 25, financial approval of the budget amendments and departmental requisitions. Financial Director Heather Woody is requesting approval of the following budget amendments and department requisitions. Mr. Madden?
Yes, sir. Those are contained on pages 90 through 99 in your board package. The first one is described as reallocating unused benefits for collections employees to purchase 2 desktop computers. There's no net impact to the overall budget. The second one is to reallocate salaries and wages to contracted services for a temporary worker from 9/5/25 until 11/21/25 for additional support in the collection center while an employee is out of work. That also has a 0 impact to the budget. We did have to we did reduce salaries in building inspections by $5,000 to cover the expense of travel. We have a couple of our employees that are in the process of getting some certifications, and we need to cover the travel expenses associated with obtaining those advanced certifications. Again, no net impact to the budget. Under finance and EDC and planning, we're recommending that the board separate those 2 budgets. Under Dr. Lanier, he served in the capacity of both EDC and planning director. With the hiring of Ms. Kelsey Hammond and Mr. Dylan Bowen, we're recommending that those departments be separated so we can track those expenses accordingly. There is a slight increase as a result of $15,051. But that's the only change in that. In the position count, according to Ms. Woody's notes, the changes that have been recommended have no impact either, but she provided that to you for your reference. We have a number of requisitions that have been approved over the past month since the board met. Happy to go over those with you, but the first one is $28,302 for HVAC repairs at the jail.
Has this one been approved?
Yes.
Wasn't stamped.
The second one is a large expenditure, but it's $353,241.82. That is to repairs to the South Columbus HVAC system, I believe, $353,241.82. It's a pass-through for us. The next item is $250,000, and that's for new buses or new transportation equipment vehicles that have been previously approved by this board, and it's in the budget. And then we provided you a list of others. One, I think, is a duplication. That you have Motorola Solutions, $60,165.40. That is for the paging system associated with the new 911 center. Again, a budgeted number, but the requisition requires your approval. The second one that's on that list that you were handed is are the HVAC units that I previously mentioned. You have 4 Prime Health Services bills. The first one is $63,864.61. The second one is $46,731.43. Third is $83,063.75. And finally, $106,447.14. These are all associated with medical expenses provided to inmates that you're statutory required to pay. These are budgeted, and therefore the requisition's been generated for your approval. The last is the temporary dentist contract that was approved at your August 19th meeting at a cost of $125,000. Again, a budgeted item, only requesting your approval of the requisition. And that concludes the report.
Now, you mentioned that the health bills had been approved. The 63 and the 46 and the 83 and the 106. Did you say we had already approved that?
These are in the budget.
I meant what I mean, that we approved it in the budget.
You have budget, there is budget to cover these invoices.
Okay.
Is that all of them, Mr. Madden?
No, sir, it is not.
What's the rest of them?
As I understand it, it will be, I think the total will be approximately 350,000. This makes up, what, half of that? Maybe slightly more than half. And we're working with the sheriff's office and our finance office to determine how best to pay that.
How about the air conditioner? Is that something we've already fixed or we got to fix?
With regard to detention, we need to fix and must pay the bill.
My question is, you said we had budgeted these funds. We didn't know what they were until now. Is that correct?
They're not budgeted.
These are the ones that I just outlined.
No, they're not.
Was my understanding that the total bill was roughly $350,000. And that they were
Originally, there was $700,000 in medical bills that we discussed last year, that we had statements for, but we did not have invoices for. Now that we've received invoices, we had budgeted all those small ones. We sent all those over to the finance director last week. She approved all of those. The 46,000, the 80 whatever thousand, and the 106,000, we don't have the money to pay. We don't have that in the budget.
Then I would recommend that you not take action on those items. I would recommend you not take action on those. If it requires a budget amendment, we don't have a budget amendment ready for your approval. It was my understanding that these were covered by the existing budget and that all other expenses would come to this board as a request for a budget amendment or to be paid for within the existing budget. So if these are not covered by existing budget, there's not budget to support them, I recommend you not approve those at this time.
We don't have a budget to cover it.
Which ones are they?
The 106, the 83,
83.
the 46, we don't have the budget.
And there's a
covered.
63. Do you have the 63?
That was not with the way it was represented to me by the finance office.
All right, last year, how much did we actually, because we had to come in at the end of the year.
And we
made a
come up with
budget
them,
amendment.
but those, we never paid those because we never got invoices for them.
I mean, I thought we made about an $800,000 amendment to
Just
pay.
just under 500,000 in February of 2024.
We paid those, but the ones that came in June of last year, we did not have the money to pay them. And that totaled about 700,000.
Well, I remember you also asking for the bills to come to the county.
That's right.
because
I did ask that.
It was something
Yes,
that
sir.
could not be,
Because there's no way to budget for them. There is no way for me to know who's going to be airlifted this year, who's going to be have to be lifted to Chapel Hill and be there for 4 months, 3 months. The one that's 106,000, that gentleman died. He died at the hospital. We can't budget I don't know who's going to be sick.
so are
There's
those
no way
bills
to
coming,
budget that.
are those bills coming to the county now?
No, sir.
No? Y'all still getting them?
Yes, sir.
All I'm suggesting to you is that if you continue to draw from fund balance, your fund balance is at a critical stage it is. Now, I would agree with Captain Crease. He has no way of controlling what these medical expenses are. But folks, we're in September of a fiscal year, just 2 months in. And if we can't figure out how to absorb these costs within our existing budget and avoid going into fund balance again, then we haven't done our due diligence. We have got to be able to figure out how to make adjustments at this stage of the fiscal year to stay within our existing budget and avoid depleting fund balance.
But you
How
can't,
old are these bills? How old are these?
Some of these were back since 22.
but I don't see how you can stay within a budget, and I'm for staying within a budget. But I don't see how you can when you have no idea what these numbers are going to be when they come in.
Exactly.
I mean,
And
I
I've
don't
said the same
understand.
thing for 2 years.
So what the finance director recommended to me was that for the medical expenses that we could process through the approved budget, that we go ahead and process them by requisition.
So I've already did all the ones that we had money for.
And then for the others, that we go ahead and enter them into as a requisition and let the finance office override, because there
Okay.
isn't money in the budget to support that request, to override the requisition and approve it for payment so the vendor can be paid promptly. And not present it as a budget amendment drawing from fund balance.
Well, tell me this, if we pull that kind of money out of the sheriff's operating budget, there's no way that they can absorb that kind of fees.
Well, my response to that is the sheriff's office received a little over $450,000 in budget increase in the current fiscal year as compared to last year. And so while other departments remained flat or even saw a decrease, my recommendation is to pay for these within the existing budget. Now, as we get towards year end, if we need to clean it up towards year end, we address it at that point.
Are they charging any interest on these bills or not?
So what we were told by Prime was that if we could either pay the invoices or they were going to start legal action.
And we became aware of these last week.
Same time that I was.
What if
Other
this
than-
what if this happens again next month?
So the good part about, if there is a silver lining, that last year we started every inmate that comes into the jail now, that we start them on the Obamacare insurance. We had never done that in the past because we didn't know that we could. So hopefully we won't run into that situation. Also, if somebody is eligible for Medicare or Medicaid, it'll also cover their bills. But in the past, we've not had that option. In the past, we get these bills once, the person either dies or either they come back out of safekeeping. And if they're in safekeeping, we have no choice. DOC carries them to the hospital and then we get the bill. But we might get the bill a year down the road, or it might be 2 years down the road.
How many of these are long past due to where they would take legal action, and how many of them have just come in that we might have some time?
The 106 was for inmate Mr. Randall that passed away last year. So that's probably a year or so, almost a year old now. Now we only got the invoices last week. We had statements, but the county will not pay off a statement. I can turn a statement into finance all I want to. They will not process it. They have to have an invoice. Once they got us an invoice, we turned it over to the finance department. The 46,000, I think it was they life flighted Mr. Randall from here to Chapel Hill. And then the 84,000 or 83,000 was for another inmate that was on hospice care that we couldn't get out on bond.
Well, when they're on hospice care, there's no other kind of.
No, sir. The hospice will not accept an inmate unless we unsecure their bond. If we can't unsecure their bond, hospice will not accept them.
Well, now,
We tried, believe me.
These cases, major felonies, murder, rape, or something that was.
They were all. One of them was assault on a law enforcement officer, Mr. Randall, and it was from New York. It was that case, but it was one that they held him on because we had pending charges here.
Well,
And they wouldn't
what kind of charges did we have here that we couldn't have sent him to New York?
I can't answer that question on Mr.
I mean,
Randall.
what we got to do is when you get an inmate in there,
We tried everything within our power.
somewhere.
We tried everything within our power to get him, and the DA would not hear.
Can we drop the charges when they got a medical issue going on?
Sometimes they will let us drop the charges, but there again, the DA has to go along with it.
Well, you know, it's a hard thing to have invoices like this come up that is owing. And I know there's two sides. The county may not have it, but I honestly don't feel like the sheriff department has it because we didn't put none of that money in there. And if it's fixing to go against our credit and causing us liability issues, I'm in favor of paying it.
So let me clarify. So what I'm not suggesting that you not pay these invoices. We're obligated to pay these invoices.
Yes.
What I'm asking you to do is to approve and authorize the requisition, but not the budget amendment. That way we can see how the budget year goes, and hopefully we will not have to increase the sheriff's office budget to cover these expenses and consequently dip into fund balance.
Do you have it in your budget?
That'll be an option that you can do it. You'll have to reimburse the sheriff at the end of the year if he needs the money and
That's not what he's saying.
do it then. Is
But
that
then
what you're saying?
that doesn't look good for the sheriff's department either, Mr. Chairman. You know how you explain that.
So next year when I come up here, you say, well, y'all went over 400,000 last year because of medical bills and we had to give you money. Same thing they said last year, you had to give us money back in February. So now it's being thrown back to us again that we had to give you money last year. So next year you're going to say, well, we had to give you money this year. So, that's the reason I asked last year when we all met in our budget retreat to please let these medical bills come straight to the finance office and y'all take care of them. Just don't put it in our budget. Do not put the amount of money in our budget that you're putting for medical bills. But don't hold it against us when we can't budget for it. And that's what's happening, in our opinion. And I know there's two sides to every story, but we feel like that we're being punished by not having the money to pay the bills.
There's no way you can budget for that.
You
We-
can't.
we
And
understand
I've
that.
tried to
I think
explain
at
that,
one-
and I can't get
One
through.
time we were thinking about trying to budget money for that. I think we talked a little bit about that, but how do you budget money for something?
Did you say they were charging interest or not?
I don't think there's any interest on Prime. I think, so basically what Prime does is they scrub the bill. In other words, when that bill comes from Rex Hospital or UNC Chapel Hill or Wilmington, they scrub the bill, charge us a price to scrub the bill, and then we pay it. So once we pay them, they're the ones holding the money. They're the ones the debt.
Mr. Madden, I'm in favor of the county taking full responsibility of getting these bills paid, whether you can negotiate some time with them to do it on payments or however, but take the pressure off of the sheriff department to do it.
The prime will not set up a payment plan for things like this, right? I mean, they want a lump sum payment. And let me just state, I don't think this is an issue of whether we have the cash to produce payment. The issue here is, again, dipping into fund balance by presumably $350,000. Let me just say this so that we're all on the record here. We balance a budget based on what we know to be the revenues for the year. And then we fashion our budget on what we know to be the projected expenses for the year. Are there going to be unforeseen things that come up? Yes. But we have to live within a balanced budget.
Within next year, if they were to ask us to put $500,000 in their budget just for this, would this board approve it?
I'm not sure, but the answer to that would result in either an increase in revenue to cover that expenditure or a reduction in expenditures from other departments.
You think we'll have more of these bills coming in next year? I mean, is the inmates that you have now, or they occur in hospital expenses? Since Obama's insurance is in.
The Obamacare has helped with the inmates. I'm not going to say it's going to be a fix-all. I won't say that because, they could be a bunch of them get sick and we have to go sit with them in the hospital, tonight. But at the end of the day, the Obamacare that we have started signing them up for has helped somewhat in the last year. We just started that this past budget year.
We'd be better off to have a slush fund to stand their bonds and put them back out on the street than to keep them in there and pay all these doctor bills.
Well, so you figure the amount of money that I've just presented is 4 inmates.
4 inmates.
4 inmates.
Mr. Madden, I offer a motion that we go ahead and let's pay these bills out of the general fund.
So just for clarification, are you approving the requisition or are you approving the budget amendment that would be required to process these payments?
The budget amendment that would be required to process these payments. And I think it's better to go ahead and do it. Let's work around it. If these guys can save any money, I'm sure they will, and give it back to us at the end of the year. That's what I'm asking them to do. Is that fair enough?
The amount of invoices that we do not have right now totals to be about $12,000 above what we have talked about tonight. Everything else would have been paid at that point. But there was 12 invoice or $12,000, 12.5, I think, that we have not received invoices for. But the guy with Prime has assured me he would get me those invoices. And I've assured Miss Woody that as soon as they get there, I'll do a requisition to get them paid.
Some of them goes back to 22, and I just think it's our responsibility.
Some of them was 22, some of them was 23, and then the rest of them were 24.
Can I just point out a clarification? And I think you stated this already, but the bill is not generated, even though it might be dated back to 22. It's not generated until when?
Until whenever. So if they're in safekeeping, which is where we had them, if they're in safekeeping, once they either pass away or either they come out of safekeeping and are well enough to come back to our jail, then we receive the bill. So it could be a year, it could be 2 years, it could be 3 years.
And so that brings about the point that
That's the reason I asked that those bills come straight to the county and let the county take care instead of even budgeting. Because I'll be honest with you guys, I've been doing this a long time. I don't know how to budget for people that get sick. I don't know how to do it.
So my point is that Captain Creech received these bills last week.
Yes,
even
sir.
though it's not a true representation, I don't think, that these are bills dating back to 22. These are bills that have been generated.
That's when the
recently.
service was rendered in 2022, 2023, and some of them in 2024. But that's when the service was rendered. We didn't get a invoice for them until last week, but the service was rendered back at that time.
And why are
That's
you
great.
saying you didn't? Because the patient was still living? Is that
So if they're in safekeeping, they don't bill us until they come either get well enough to come out of safekeeping or they pass away.
When you say safekeeping, you talking about-
Safekeeping basically is when we send them to Department of Corrections in Raleigh or wherever they might put them, and then they carry them to the hospital and do that. We don't have the staff to go sit with somebody at Rex Hospital or UNC Chapel Hill for months at the time. We just don't have that.
But if they're in the state's care instead of Columbus County,
But they're still a
I don't
Columbus
state-
County inmate. It doesn't matter who's looking after them. At the end of the day, they are our inmate as long as they're booked in under our jail.
Maybe we also need to send a letter and ask our representatives and senators to look into this issue we have to where the county is not held responsible for their doctor bills. I think that's what we need to also do tonight is send them a letter. And these taxpayers right out here, along with myself, are not happy that I'm having to take my tax money and pay their hospital bills when I can't hardly afford insurance myself.
The man that just robbed
It's not-
you,
it's
you
not
gotta
fair
pay his
to
hospital.
all the taxpayers.
and why
Yes,
occasions
sir.
like this can't speedy trial?
And so let's ask Representative Jones and
Here's
and
my
all of them to
question.
help us out.
If you go, there's people that go to the hospital all the time, don't have no insurance.
Right.
And the
Well, they get it
hospital
wrote
lets them
off,
Pay
though.
10 minute, whatever. I mean, I'm looking at the county employees right here, and they take money out of their check for insurance. So them, all of us, we get penalized for working and being taxpayers.
Well,
That's just not fair.
we getting penalized for obeying the law where we
That's
don't
it.
get put in jail and paying the insurance, and they're breaking the law and doing, maybe they even done some to some of our kin people or something, you know,
And
our friends.
So the best thing you're saying, if I get sick with cancer, I'm better off to go break the law and let
get in
y'all
jail.
let y'all pay for my bill.
And I want to point out this is coming
It's
up on
the
the
truth.
it's coming up on the same night that you had to write off medical expenses or bills for the health department.
There you
for-
go.
Just move it.
And that's why I asked her, there's no way we can collect that money.
Well,
Well-
all I know is the sheriff's office is in a predicament here because they have no control over these expenses.
Right.
We're in a predicament because we cannot continue to draw from fund balance. I offered the proposal that we wait and see on the budget amendment, but go ahead and process the requisitions so we can pay these bills. But it's up to the board. We'll follow the pleasure. of the
How
board.
about if they give us the bills or our finance department, let us be totally responsible for paying the bills whenever Columbus County Finance Department has the money or get ready to and take that burden away from the sheriff department.
Are there any negotiations could be with any of these bills?
So basically, the bills have already been negotiated. That's what Prime does. Prime has negotiated the bill down. Some of these bills were over $300,000. They negotiated that one down to 106. So they've already been negotiated. That's what Prime does.
Are you allowed to look at the resources that those individuals have, resources of income? Like if some of them are getting benefits, Social
Well, if they're getting Social Security or if they're eligible for Medicare or Medicaid, then they already know that at the hospital. So
not
they,
the insurance portion, but the benefits, or if they have other resources, are you able to assess that?
they're ours when they come to jail.
So, and do you check to see they don't have any holdings or anything in the county property or heir to property or
We
anything?
don't, that would be for a lawyer.
So where we're at right now, we've either got to pay it now and going in fund balance or pay it later.
No, sir. No, sir. What I'm suggesting is that you approve the requisition so we can process the payments. But that we would not dip into fund balance to process or cover those expenses. We would wait and see if it's necessary to pull from fund balance.
So you're gonna delay payment?
No, ma'am, we pay now, but we don't increase the budget to cover it.
But what you're saying is take it out of the present sheriff's budget,
Correct.
the budget that we,
For the time being, yes, sir.
Right.
And then later on, we got to come with an amendment. Because I
Hopefully
mean, we know that we didn't include it in their budget, and we know we cut their budget as low, as tight as we could.
I put a motion on the floor already. Mr. Burton.
A motion on the floor.
I'll
Is there a
second. it.
second?
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner Burden. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? No.
It's carried.
Okay. It carries. Motion carries.
Mr. Chairman, the next time the finance director is not here, I'm going to postpone budget amendments.
Okay.
Got one more question about
Thank
that.
Yes, sir.
The air conditioner here that is 28,000. Is that the one they needing to be fixed now?
Captain Creech,
Yes, sir.
about the HVAC unit, 28,000.
There's two HVAC units. We had the county come out, county looked at them, county said they were not worth fixing. So we did our due diligence. They're both trained. We called Pridgeon. Pridgeon come looked at them. They give us a price to replace the compressors in them or to replace the units. They basically told us the same thing with the age of the units. They were not worth replacing. But if we wanted to put compressors in them for $10,000 whatever dollars, we could put compressors in them. For 28, we can replace both units.
Both units for 28?
And that was taking the money from the jail upgrade from the grant. So
No cost to the
no
county.
cost to the budget.
What tonnage for $14,000 must not be a real.
I think one of them was a 3-ton and one of them was 2.5 ton, I think. They
You
were
mean-
both,
now,
they were
wait a
both
minute.
for smaller rooms or smaller areas in the jail.
Replacing a 3-ton. I just bought a 5-ton last week, cost me $6,300.
Yeah, it was
And that was a gas pack.
28,000 for both units.
Excuse me?
28,000 for both units.
I think you need to shop around then, because like I said, I just bought a 5-ton gas pack for $6,300, brand new, last week. So if you're talking about 1 or 3,
So what he's telling us is that where it goes down through the building, the metal where that unit mounts, all that has to be replaced because the new units don't mount like the old units did. So all the new ducking and everything has to be replaced on both units. But I mean, if you want to call somebody else, we'll call somebody else and get them to come out. We've already called the county. We called Pridgeon. If you want to call somebody else, we will.
I think
I
that'd be
will
up to-
say this.
I think that would be up to you, but I do feel like you should get more than one opinion.
We did. That's the reason we called.
But you called the county. I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, they got an HVAC person.
No. I'm talking about a business.
Oh, okay. I mean, I don't mind doing that. I'll just say this. If the temperature goes below 65 or goes above 85, we have to move the inmates.
Right.
Just,
and it needs
just keep that in mind.
It needs to be fixed quick, but the phone call will reach 2 or 3 places also quick.
I'll be glad to call somebody and get another.
I definitely feel like you should get more than one.
You know, Pridgeon does good work, but I agree. I always.
Oh,
like-
yeah, I don't mind
always
calling
like to
somebody
get me
else.
2 or 3 prices. Lynn Fairfax is out there, so.
Yep.
I think that would satisfy some concerns. Now, is this approved tonight too for the air conditioners?
Yes,
No,
sir.
Well, that's not a county. We got the money to do that in the grant,
Yes, sir.
but we're approving for it to be paid.
This was
You're approving it to be paid. Yes, sir.
This was gift money, right?
You're approving it to be paid. We'll determine where it's going to be pulled from.
Okay.
I have put it toward the
I know
jail
that.
upgrade grant.
Yes, sir.
I did the requisition.
I think my point is that the Office of State Budget and Management oversees that program. And before I commit to that, I want to make sure that I'm accurate when I say it's eligible. If not, we'll have to pay it some other way.
No, this is jail upgrade. This is a totally separate grant.
Okay.
This
if
was the
that's-
$980,000 jail upgrade.
So not new
It had
sheriff's
nothing to
office.
do with the
All right,
Skiff
I'm with
Traffic
you.
Sheriff's Office.
I'm with you. See, I told you I'm not going to answer.
Yeah, this is completely out of the $980,000 from
Very
the
good. Thank
from the jail upgrade grant.
Perfect.
But if y'all want to get another,
If you get another price, Mr. Creech, how can we approve it?
you can.
Okay.
But please
Just
get more than
table it.
one bid. Get at
Table
least
it.
two other bids on replacing those two units, because
Well, I know that
$28,000 to me
pretty
seems very, very expensive.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
I'll take that. Yeah, that's price. That's part of it.
Well, that's $100 and some an hour.
Yeah. So
I know about them too.
Okay, next on the agenda, 26, appointments, reappointments, replacements. Staff is requesting appointments, reappointments, and replacements for the following board, committee, and councils. Got a list of them here. We'll go to, combine them as best I can. Aging Advisory Council, 1. Got 2 of you.
I want to reappoint Sharika Powell and Miss Evelyn Waddell for District 1.
Reappoint. Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
can we skip 26A?
No, we got,
Well, we gotta get
it
in
comes
after.
after.
Okay. My bad.
Okay, the third one on the list is District 2 Advisory Council.
I'd like to appoint Pat Eason. Patsy.
Okay.
EASON.
Okay, District 3.
I want to reappoint Mr. Tracy King and Miss Hattie Campbell.
District 4, reappoint Ms. Hill. District 5,
I want to reappoint Ms. Thompson.
District 6,
I'd like to reappoint Mitch Nance, but he has asked to take a break. And so put that one on hold for me, please, sir.
okay. District 7,
Reappoint Mr. Tommy.
sir.
Reappoint Mr. Tommy Gore.
Okay. You want to reappoint,
Dockery.
reappoint both? Okay. Go on to Healthcare Community Block Grant, District 1.
I'd like to appoint Miss Lucy Frank and reappoint Miss Jackie Davis.
Okay. District 2,
Hold.
both of them.
No, Karen Thurman, a reappoint.
Okay. District 7,
Just hold those for right now. She said they only meet once a year, and we'll get them later.
put them on a hold. Okay, I'll hold my Board of Health. Mr. Drew Cox,
He resigned.
he resigned. So I'll try to get one there for you. Okay. Now, 26A,
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to appoint Gwen Joy back to the jury commission. I put that in the form of a motion if the whole board needs to vote on
do
it.
that. That's what I was looking. The whole board need to vote on it?
I don't know.
Bam. They do. Okay, got a motion. Second by Commissioner Watts. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
That advisory. I mean, the agent advisory. Is Miss Featherson's term not up yet?
So it's not up because she's not a resident of District 2.
Okay.
She still remains on that board as a commissioner representative
Okay.
on the agent advisory board.
Okay,
So the next meeting, it'll be, you'll have another vacant position for District 2.
I got you. Okay.
Anything else? Good. Need a motion to recess regular session and enter into Columbus County Water and Sewer District 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Move to approve, Mr. Second.
Got a motion by Commissioner Watts, seconded by Commissioner Bullard. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Number 27, Water and Sewer District 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, accommodation minutes, August 19th, 2025. Hear a
Move.
motion?
Move to approve as presented.
Motion by Commissioner Byrd,
Second.
seconded by Commissioner Floyd. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Pass. I need a motion to adjourn combination meeting in Columbus County Water and Sewer District 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
So move.
Motion by Commissioner Byrd, second by Commissioner Featherston. All in favor? All opposed? Okay. Number 28, comments. We'll start with Commissioner Watts.
I'm good to go.
Commissioner Bullard.
I'm good, but I'd like to say I appreciate everybody here tonight. Appreciate everybody, everything that everyone does. Appreciate you, Mr. Madden. Appreciate you, Sheriff, for everything we do. A lot of times money's not plentiful like we wish it would be, but we manage to make things work. And I appreciate everybody. Thank you.
I do want to say one thing.
Okay.
We got the fair coming up, and they had a meeting tonight. If there's anyone that wants to get in the demolition derby, look on Facebook and join, because they're looking for more demolition derby people.
That's right.
Maybe some of y'all commissioners get you a derby car and take it out.
That'd be great.
Can you still put concrete in the tires?
That's up to you. I don't know the rules.
Commissioner Byrd.
Yes, I concur with both things that Commissioner Bullard and Watts have said. And Mr. Madden, looking at the commissioner furniture that New Hanover County has offered to donate to county, I would certainly think that we got a very nice place, but it would certainly enhance our office here. And you said at no charge just to move it, pay for the moving. And I would like to ask the commissioners to support and give you the go ahead to accept it.
Yes, sir. They've offered it to us as a donation. I think Stuart Carroll's here. He and a furniture company went down and looked at it last week. There's some modifications that'll have to occur with it. We'll have to move it. We're probably going to paint it because I think it's white there. I think Stuart indicated at most a couple $1,000s, to get it set up here. But the furniture itself, I would guess probably $25,000 worth of value. And all we have to do is relocate it and set it up here.
It's nice.
Right, and it looks so much more professional than ours. Like the front of our desk is open. We got a straight table. This would be curved. Every commissioner would be sitting, like we used to at the old office. So I really would like to suggest that we go after it. I mean, I'm hoping the rest of the commissioners agree. And
I
Anybody got any objections to it?
No.
Consensus? Everybody good with it?
We'll get it here.
right, and I like the fact of the podium being in the middle, because sometimes it's hard to hear someone that's not speaking directly into the mic there. At this point here, we'll put them in the middle. That will be better for everyone. So, it's a good gift.
Yes, it is.
Go
Very
get it.
nice.
Thank you.
They don't have enough,
Thank you.
Mr. Madden, they don't have enough for that one to replace this one too.
Yeah,
do they?
yeah, this.
What was that?
They can replace this one. with
Yes,
part of
sir.
it, too.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
they
These
got it.
tables will be replaced
Yeah,
as
it's
well.
here. It's
That
in.
one thing's pretty big.
Yeah.
And with that, Mr.
You're doing good.
Chairman, with that, I'll close.
Commissioner Smith?
Are they in the tables?
She had a question.
Tables,
Table chairs. Any
chairs, they haven't offered any chairs, have they, Jim?
Okay.
They offer chairs? Just the tables.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know
these are-
some of your chairs are a bit warm, but
Yeah.
times are tough, folks.
Stuart, did the chairs come in also? Okay, well, we can afford the chairs maybe. It's like putting tires on an automobile.
We spend enough money tonight, we won't have to keep these chairs.
Commissioner
I
Smith?
rest, Mr. Chair.
I'm gonna beat you, Mr. Chairman. I want to thank all the county employees for what you do. Don't go unnoticed. Beat you to it.
Beat you to it. Commissioner Fence?
I rest, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Madden?
I do have a few things, and I'm sorry for the late night, but we are proposing that this year that we hold a capital projects budget meeting. And rather than waiting until the retreat in spring, and then we're hurried to try to put a budget together by July 1, that instead we start the budget process a bit earlier, with beginning with capital. And we would like for you to give us some feedback. We've selected November 3rd or November 17th at 4 o'clock for about an hour, hour and a half presentation on the upcoming capital projects that would then lead into our legislative requests in January. So a lead up to those legislative requests. So if you would give us a feedback on whether November 3rd or the 17th is preferred. This Friday, we will celebrate. Some of us shed a tear for the retirement of Audrey Shelley. Audrey has taken good care of all of us, the board included. This evening, she made you an apple crisp, and that's customary for her. But Audrey is retiring this Friday, and if you get a chance to come by, we will have a retirement party for her at 3 o'clock, if you can come. The planning department and the EDC offices have relocated to this building. Mr. Dylan Bowen's office is located on this floor in the administrative area, and then planning is downstairs adjacent to building inspection. So if you have folks that need a permit, direct them to the first floor because they'll find environmental health there, planning, and building inspections all in the same suite of offices. You all have been renting space to the North Carolina Forest Service in a building next door while they underwent some renovations to their building on Chatterburn Highway. They officially moved out today and have turned the keys back over to us. So the Entrepreneurship Center and/or office space for the county employees will move forward with that relocation. We are underway with our annual audit. It's progressing nicely. I spoke with our auditor last Friday regarding the schedule and with the resources that we have available to us now with third-party preparers. We think we'll be in good shape to present you all with a budget, or excuse me, an audit within the time frame specified by the local government commission. So that's a good thing. I know that Commissioner Watts mentioned the fair that's coming up October 7th through 12th. You all have been invited to dinner on October 2nd. That's the fair dinner. I think it starts at 6, but if you'll mark your calendars for that and be present if you can. And then our next meeting of this board is October the 6th. And that concludes my report.
Mr. Madden, you please, if you will, contact Representative Jones and express our concerns about the inmates' hospital expenses, and see if there's anything that he can come up with to help us out with those, as to where we're maybe not even responsible for them or something. I don't know.
Yes, sir. We'll draft something.
Thank you, sir.
Sure we will.
Definitely ought to include Raven.
Yeah, include all of them.
Include all of them.
We'll get you all
Brett.
to sign it and maybe get the sheriff's office to sign off on it as
That'd be
well.
good. All of us
And we'll
together.
submit it together.
Get a little attention, maybe.
I'd like to thank again all the county employees. Without y'all, we couldn't we couldn't do a whole lot without you. We cut you, touch you, and you bleed and you bleed. We'll be able to put a Band-Aid on you one day, I hope. Things is tough. This is a poor county. How do you survive? Just want people to continue to pray for us. Keep us in your prayers. County employees, like I said, I can't say enough. County citizens, thank y'all for your patience and your understanding. I know it's tough. It's hard to realize some of the things that go on. But with that, I hear a motion to adjourn. And a motion by Commissioner Featherston, seconded by Commissioner Floyd. All in favor? All opposed? Meeting adjourned.